A strong stance is being taken by the Kahnawake Mohawks that the Highway 30 lands that border their territory are legitimately theirs.
It's been our land, it's always been our land in the past, it is now, and will be in the future. It's through the process of sitting with governments, federal and provincial. It's been a process of discussion and reaffirmation of the fact that the land belongs to Kahnawake. And therefore, if we all agree, and if there is a willingness to do so, then there should be no problems with somebody else trying to step in at this point in time, using the courts, somebody else meaning the MRC, using the courts to try and prevent us from actually the acquisition, not the acquisition, but the reaffirmation, the reconfirmation of our territory. And that's what I think angers me a lot, because then you have federal government sitting back, you have provincial government sitting back, saying, oh, we can't do anything because of the lawsuit.
Norton says that the community will not wait for the lawsuit to be settled.
If it's ours and it's ours, then we're going to act on it. And part of acting on it is on the ground, physically beginning to develop the land, getting in there, doing the things that we have to do. Of course, with the recommendations and suggestions of our technical department, our operations department, as well as advice from the legal department. But basically, it's a go. We're acquiring the land. We're going to start to develop, do whatever we can.
The lawsuit that Norton is referring to was launched in 2013 by the MRC de Roussillon to dissolve the land decree concerning the land along Highway 30 being returned to Kahnawake. Chateauguay Mayor Natalie Simone explained their position during a press conference held in 2013.
The Mohawk Council has its revendication on the land, but as far as we are concerned, the decree is not telling us that what is territory in question will not be part of Kahnawake yet. It will still be part of the municipality around, and that we have a problem with. I mean, we need things to be clear. And of course, if the federal would have first settled down all the Sault Ste. Louis negotiation, we wouldn't be here today talking about that. Everything would be clear.
Norton says although Kahnawake has been slow to react, he believes now the message is loud and clear.
Especially now, knowing that, it's been a number of years that we've sat back and watched Chateauguay do what it pretty well pleases in terms of the lawsuit, and waiting for government to come back and say, okay, you can use the land, or whatever happens. And I think in a sense, people do understand the necessity of this kind of strong message that has to be sent to our neighbors, telling them, hey, we spend 37 million some odd dollars, if not more, in your territory. What do you do in turn for us? Instead, you take out a lawsuit. It comes to the land itself, and then the lost opportunities, because we have lost opportunity.
Meanwhile, the MCK is not the only group to take the initiative to occupy the land. A group of community members began a grassroots initiative to plant a community garden. Mohawk TV met up with a few of the organizers and volunteers.
We had heard that there was potentially some economic development going on along this Highway 30 eventually. So we were sitting around and thinking, like, well, we heard all the other ideas that were turned around, like gas station, warehouses, and industrial parks and whatever. So what the conversation came around to was, well, what's the alternative? What kind of alternative economic vision can we show that can be done with the land here along the 30? It's already farmland. It's great agricultural land. It's really rich soil. So we thought organic food.
Hemlock says it should be what Kahnawake strives for, and it's for the collective. Have you had any problems with people from out of town, since this is technically still under provincial land? Have you had any problems?
We have not had any problems since we've come out and we started planting. In the beginning, we were told that, well, there's a possibility of this happening or that happening, whatever. But we've got together and we said, well, this is Kahnawake. This is part of our territory. So we said, let's just go plant. Let's just go plant. And the idea from the very beginning was that half the harvest is going back to the community, and the other half is going towards prepping for next year and selling what produce we have, with the proceeds going to developing for next year.
We actually get a lot of support on Facebook too, from like out-of-towners, or for the surrounding communities have been actually wanting to join the page, and it's it's amazing. Like, we're getting a lot of support from the outside.
Hemlock says that getting the injunction lifted is a common goal. However, a common vision has yet to be reached.
What we're trying to do here, it's not necessarily I guess what the MCK is envisioning for the future. I don't think we agree with developing the land for outside businesses and corporations to come in and set up shop and, pretty much profiting off of our jurisdiction and our sovereignty. It'd be a real shame if this land was cleared and paved over for outside businesses to come in. I think we're in agreement where that's something that we're against.
The gardening project seems to be just the start to an even larger grassroots economic plan, one that is more in line with the community's cultural values.
We can develop this land economically with the traditional, what's the word I'm looking for? That holds true to our indigenous values, where we're not destroying the land, where it's renewable.
Norton acknowledges that there are other perspectives on how to use the land.
We welcome and embrace the use of that land. They were the first ones to initiate some. This is through the Longhouse. They were the first ones to initiate action on the land, and it's a golden opportunity to show that besides industry, manufacturing, there's another side to this community, which is agriculture, that people are prepared to get into en masse on behalf of the community. So it's a great thing that they're doing, and we support it.
Occupying these lands is one action Kahnawake residents are taking. Another is a recent boycott against Chattagee that was initiated by Norton.
We're prepared to go out there. There's a third action to this, and we've committed ourselves to go out there and start talking to these mayors individually, collectively, talking to their Chamber of Commerces, making sure they understand why there's a boycott. We're not just going to sit back and say boycott. We're going to get out there and demonstrate to them why this is happening. Provide them with the information, provide them with everything else that probably their own mayors and their own city councils and provincial and federal government have not provided to them. So we have a dual purpose that we have to take care of. We have to take care of our own people, make sure they understand, and then the people out in that region around us. One of the most important things, though, is that we do have to have a strong discussion and conversation with the community of Kahnawake to find out what they perceive, what they see, and what they think will work best for us, and what are we prepared to do, how equipped are we to do, from a financial, from a resource, from a infrastructure type of point of view. We have to assess all of that to make sure that we're well equipped and we're ready to roll.
The MCK plans on doing what's in the best interest of their community. Reporting for Mohawk TV, I'm Dohonyet Date Dalil.